Hello, I'm Daisy.
And I'm Violet.
And this is our daddy, Ranil Jayawardena. He's running to be your MP again. We have interviewed him and asked him some tough questions.
We think you should vote for him.
Why? Because he's hard-working for our community.
Keep watching to see our interview. Why do you want to be our MP again?
Well, like you, Violet, I grew up here. I went to Hook Infant and Junior Schools. I then went to Robert Mays in Odium. And so I'm a local person working hard for local people here. And I really want to listen to what matters to families here. Because I think together, all of us, we can secure a better future for everyone in North East Hampshire. And I've already done that, helping thousands of people in the last 9 years.
What have you done to help our community?
Well, Daisy, you were born in Basingstoke Hospital, and it's getting a bit old now. So that's why we've got 2 new hospitals agreed for our community. One in Basingstoke and another for Frimley. And we're putting £83 million into the NHS every week now, more than ever before, because I want to make sure that we've got happy, healthy families across North East Hampshire.
What would you like to do to make our community even better?
Well, it's really important that you are safe. I want everyone to be safe. And we live in a safe area, but I want to make sure that people feel even safer. And so we've already got 650 extra police officers in our area compared with 2019. And our plan is to increase that to 725 extra police officers. That's a lot more police. And that's going to mean safer streets across Hampshire, which is our county. And you know, when I drove you to school today, the roads were a bit bumpy, weren't they? And so that's why another £10 million is going to go into filling the potholes, the holes in the road, which is enough to fill an extra 160,000 of them on top of what we normally do every year. The road opposite Granny's has just been done. The road to my old school has just been resurfaced too, and more is happening every single day. So I want to keep that going. And one more thing, the Grand Parade in Hook, or Fleet Road, and that's the main shopping street in Fleet, I think they could be so much better. My party, you know, my team, we don't run the council here, but if we did, I would make these parts of our community so much better. And if I'm re-elected, I'm going to keep pushing for that.
My favourite animals are polar bears. What are you doing to help them?
Well, Daisy, you know that my favourite animals are polar bears too. And it's really important to look after the environment. And that's why it's really good news that Britain is the first major country to halve the amount of carbon dioxide going into our air. And when I was at Hook Infant School, 1 lorry then polluted the same as 2 lorries combined today. That shows how far we've come. And in fact, you know, the greenhouse gases, the amount of those that Britain put into the air last year was at the lowest level since 1879, which is before your great-grandparents were born. There's more that we can do. We've got to build other sorts of power stations that make the electricity nuclear. I think it's really important. And also offshore wind farms, you know, the windmills in the sea, so that we can use less gas power stations and close the last coal power station, which is the dirtiest one. And that's the plan for our country. And actually, the really good news is that more than 140 countries around the world have set a target to reduce their pollution as well.
I really love my school. What are you doing to help our school?
Well, I'm pleased to hear that, Violet. We're lucky to have good state schools across our area for local children. And just like your work at school, schools get checked too. In 2010, before either of you were born, 7 out of 10 schools were good or outstanding in our area. And that's now 9 out of 10, which is a much better mark. And that's really good news. Our plan is to keep that going. Your reading, children's reading in our local schools is 40% better than it was back then. And your school's getting £9 million more every year. And that's above any increase to prices.
I would really like an iPhone, Daddy. When can I have one?
Well, I know you would, but I've said before, I don't think it's a good idea. Smartphones, iPhones and others, and social media can be really bad for children's health. So I think it's good that the government has passed a new law on this, but I think now we should actually go even further. I've done quite a lot of reading on this, and it looks like children really shouldn't be on social media or phones until they're at least 16, maybe even 18, so you're going to have to wait a while. And if anyone listening to our interview wants to let me know what they think, they can go to my website, ranil.uk/smartphones.
We're proud of our daddy because he cares about the people and the future of our country. How do we know that? Because he cares about us.